This is Complete Gains. I'm going to be showing you what I've learned and my experience, how to make money, what I've learned through 5 years of being in the stock market every day. Okay, guys, let's start out. So I'm going to look at SPY here. This is a basic lesson. How do I determine? How am I going to help you pick a good buy point? I want you to make money. I don't want you to lose money. Let's go on the 5 year first, okay? So on the 5 year on SPY, SPY is the top 500 companies. Majority of that is in technology, then there's financial services, there's healthcare, consumer, communication, industrials, consumer, def, energy, utilities, real estate, and then basic materials. So the majority of it is in technology. I look at the top 10 holdings, and what do I see? I see NVIDIA. I see Amazon. I see Apple. I see Microsoft. Microsoft, Apple, and NVIDIA and Amazon are some of the best stocks in the world, along with Meta Platforms and Google. BlackRock, the people that own basically the world, own all the major companies, food companies, pharmaceutical companies. They're heavy in SPY. They're heavy in all of these. So I recommend getting in SPY, but you want to get in SPY at the right level. Even right here, if they expect you to come back down to 495 after a large correction, it will typically go lower. If you expect it to come to this one, this is where you put your stop loss, you're potentially going to go to 475, 480, 475, 480 due to the psychology of how people trade and institutions trade. So 495, I think people are going to wait for this, but it's not going to come as soon as they expect. More realistically, I can see a bounce around 435 to 430. You don't want to wait too low because you might lose your opportunity. But you also don't want to FOMO and be buying at 450 up here if you don't have to. So you could potentially get a what I'd say, it says about 10% right here. Up to today's 17%. Potentially get a 7% gain if you buy down here. Plus the dividends you get on your stocks. And SPY does give a dividend. Look at that. Dividend for carrying. I just had 10 shares. And I just got $1.76 a share per quarter. And they gave me $17 just for, I just happened to have it. I was trading it during the quarter. Okay. And let's look at this. So let's go on a 1 year chart. So 1 year chart, let's look at large moves. So look at this huge candle right here. Candles, you can use candlesticks like this. This is more accurate, of course. I'm doing it a little bit rougher, or a lot rougher, but it works for me. I draw the lines in my head, like a line like this, a complete straight line. I see the complete straight line in my head. So I look at a huge move. So I see from down here, an insane move happened over here. Now, typically, a stock will go down about 50% of the move so it can create liquidity. So the market has money, basically. So insane move up here. We got a support right here. Insane move up here. We might support right here on top of the resistance, the previous high. So look at this. Go on the 5 year for you. So we had a ton of consolidation. That's why right here, this is during COVID, scamdemic. So look at this, 475 and 475. Look at that. Pretty much 100%. 476 and 475. How the heck is that possible, huh? Because of support and resistance. So when you can look at previous stuff like that, you kind of know where the price will go. You will know roughly. You're not going to know exactly. You're not going to be able to time it exactly. But as long as you know roughly and good enough roughly, and over time you become like me, you get honed in on that intuition, you will be able to time the market. So like now, What would I be doing now if I had a bunch of money or I wanted to invest in the stock market? I would slowly buy SPY. I'm not a financial advisor, of course. Anything you do is up to your risk, blah, blah, blah. But yes, guys, right now, I personally, if I was you, I would be buying a little bit. I would be buying whatever I'm going to buy. I would do 10% or 5% at a time. 5%. 5%, you know, right now, buy a little bit of SPY, a little bit of SPY. But because you have to understand the overall trend. If you look at the overall trend and you see 1, 2, 3 touch points, a huge move, one, there's not even 3 touch points here. It's kind of just like a very strong ladder. I believe a touch point will get rejected and come back down here at 535, but we'll see. It can also keep going. But yeah, it's insanely bullish. This piece right here, is insane. It's a huge amount of green candles. Very little red candles. So what we're looking for is kind of some consolidation. To get some consolidation, we're going to want to see the stock retest about 510, and 510 to now, that's about nearly 20%. And 20% on SPY is how much people make in a year by just holding it the entire year. This is an exceptional year because it's coming off lows. That's why it says 26%. But typically, it's 8 to 12%. 17% is also an amazing year. And yeah, that's typically how we do support and resistance. That was a very rough down, rough show there. Let me go like let's go on a 5 here. Okay, so zoom in with your eyes here and see. Look at look right here. Say you're coming out of the market just dipped, market just crashed, shit's happening. What the fuck, market? How low is it going to go? I'm losing money, or I don't know when to buy. I don't want to get in too early. Whatever it is, you're going through a bunch of emotional stuff around this time. Most people, and by the time they figure out that all they need to do is keep buying lower and lower and lower and just hold. Of course, your starting point is very important. When's your first buy? But you just need it to hold down here. The market was down. The market crashed. Yeah, it looked like it crashed. It looked like it crashed here too. What happened after it crashed? Insane gains. What happened after it got a nice little pullback? And where did it pull back? It pulled back where one of the thickest points of consolidation. It's consolidation. What's happening here? There's buyers. This is where people have their money. Thickest part. Look at this. 311. We got 340, support right here, about 330, 350. Look at that range. Very similar range right here. And then what happens here? Market's crashing. About 350, 360. Why is it 350, 360? Because of the psychology. There's a bunch of consolidation right here before around 350, 360, but also they're not going to give you that exact price point, 330, 320. It held support at 360 psychologically, not just off the technicals. I'll look at the chart, but because people, if often there's times where people might want to put a stop loss or a buy at a certain point. They know that they're going to be buying before you get to that point, or slightly under that point. The markets are pretty tricky. But as long as you're pretty close, you're going to make money. That's all you need to do. All you need to do is, you don't have to be 100% correct. You just need to be, 60, 75, 80% correct. And that's, easier than you think to do. And especially with me helping you guys, you're going to do it for sure. Let's get another example here. So in this short-term move right here, you see the market's 422 right here. Huge move. All the way to 470, if not higher. And then where does it crash to? 420. Look at that. Support and resistance. This is how you make money. But what happened here? It didn't hold. It got another run up,